Hey, my cardigans. After promising this for a while, I've finally amassed enough poetry to read for all of you. I went through all of these myself, submitted by listeners and friends alike, and they're all truly beautiful pieces in their own ways. As always, you can submit your poetry to me using the link below or emailing me directly at cardlinish@gmail.com. Now, I have about 11 pieces here to go through, so let's get right to it. The first is The Heart, written by Rose. The heart cried and whispered goodbye. Time passed without asking why. Light disappeared and darkness overtook as vacant shadows overwhelmed every nook. Trickling tears fell silent as rain, but suddenly something lessened the pain. Everything was closed but opened slightly. The sun reappeared and now shone brightly. The rain was gone and everything was dry. The crying heart let out a quiet sigh. A strong, warm hand gently took hold, slowly warmed up what had previously been cold. The crying heart you held in your embrace, as you held it close, it started to race, because nothing like you can warm up a heart, reassemble pieces that before were apart. Nothing like you can open up a mind, leaving all worries and crippling fears behind. The heart beats wildly and flutters anew. The heart is mine, but belongs to you. This next one is written by Nana, the dreaming poet. These tapes keep me sane, they keep me whole, and I couldn't live without them. Even if I lost one piece of my life, I would fall apart. I would slowly become a lost soul again without these tapes. This soothing voice that keeps me away from the dangers I once craved for. This voice, in a way, tells me to stay away and take the right path for found souls. It tells me that I'm worth more than what I assumed I was. This voice just seems to know what I go through on a regular basis, and I admire it with all I have left. Now, God forbid one tape is lost. This next piece is A Mask, written by a poet writing poems. You think I'm fine, but I wear a mask afraid for you to see the real me. Not only if I take it off, I know you will leave me. I never told you, but I fear being alone. It has happened to me way too many times. You would think I was used to this feeling, but no, it hurts every time. So as I put on this mask, I beg of you not to leave. This next piece is Scrutiny, written by SummerJack. It has come to my acknowledgement that you have the most beautiful eyes, that appear with so much trust and hidden endearment. I cannot bear to withstand the act of looking into them and getting lost. How is it equitable that you obtain such hands with an appearance of much delicacy, and for only yourself to hold? I aspire to know how your words feel after they've passed through your lips. You are a treasure. This next piece is Burns, written by Ayla. Feelings are complicated. I think everyone can agree with that. The twisting, churning feeling in your gut when you have feelings for someone, especially when you never intended to. You're magnetized like the sun to the earth. You bask in the light they bring into your life. But the burns that blossom do not hurt enough to turn away. I know it hurts now, but those burns will heal, and peeling skin turns into tanned flesh, brown from experience. Now I know using a sunburn as a metaphor for love, or strong feelings in general, is a bit odd, but trust me, it works. Because no matter how many times you put sunblock on, somehow those rays seep through your flesh, redness blooming like a rose and thorny. To be honest, this is not a love poem. This is not a poem about the way a certain person makes you feel, whether you feel like kissing them or punching them. This poem is about you. This poem is about you, a magnificent person who deserves the world because you care so much and get so little. It isn't fair, the cards you've been dealt. I know it probably more than anyone. Yes, you act insane, crazy, wild, but don't justify your feelings that way, because your genuine self is anything but. Words cannot describe how much you mean to the world, how much you've given. I know it's hard sometimes. Hell, it's hard to cope every day that ends in Y, but somehow you manage to get through. And I want you to know that I'm proud of you for whatever you do that makes you happy. And if you decide to step back into that sunlight, I want you to know that I'll be there to have your back, sunscreen in hand. This next piece is Pure, written by Djamahl. She's beautiful, not just in image, but in spirit. Her angelic voice strums my heart's chords when I hear it. Though my eyes may be blinded by the glare of all they see, it's the uniqueness of her charm that makes what I feel so deep. She moves me to be a better me than I was yesterday, and to strive to do better tomorrow. Her presence, whether verbal or physical, erases all life's sorrows. She's a reason to wake up and a reason to want to dream. She's a reason to want to love, when love is not the world's theme. She completes me, fusing lost puzzle pieces of a perfect life. Return my destiny to my hands. Just the fact that I've known her has changed the man I am. She's my beacon on life's journey. Without her, I'd be lost. Even when we've been distant, she's never left my thoughts. I love her, and hope maybe she too one day will know a love this deep. Since true love is never selfish, that love need not be for me. I only ask to be there to share in her happiness, to see how happy she'd be. Sure, I know I'll love again, but this feeling won't transfer. But I'll never know love is real, is the love I've had for her. This next piece is written by Cailin Jaybird. I fear you are more a dream than flesh, but for the scent on the back of my hand. When I touch fingertips to nose, absently I inhale cooling memories. I catch you in the threads of my pillows, touches trailing over my shoulder, and when I bury my face in the crook of my elbow, there you are. Intoxicating, the memories you leave behind, wisps of musk and grasping fingers entwined. Palms press softly to flushed cheeks, the universe drops quietly away underneath us. Above me you are autumn leaves, laughing in the breeze, falling softly. I am held in place with my eyes full of the sky, pinned by starlight and winter winds. This next piece is Bottled with Love, written by Nia. I drift away from life with well-meant silence, like the funeral song that dies in the distance, too fragile to sail across the many seas. I wither like dandelions at repulsive shores, thrashed by silence where breakers crash. Forever I wander like a sauntering breeze, heavy with a fragrance agonizingly sweet, emanated from an inner redolence years ago, wild and vacillating like an undecided lover. Beyond the blurring billows and boulevards for snagging my vintage perfume from me, I rave and out these with vengeance at my fate. For patience and permanence had bottled it, brewed for 10 winters in pained silence in my heart's caisson, the inexorable crate with you, the best of my memory vineyard. From the fetters of love I am free today, and feckless like a dream I cruise away. Forever I wander at your shores in vain, with a heart bottled with love and sealed with pain. This next piece is written by Zora. I hear voices in my head saying that I'll never get through, convincing me that I have nothing else to do. It was all your fault, they keep telling me. Down into the darkness they keep pulling me, trying to make me believe that's where I belong. In this nightmare, my happiness is long, long gone. Sometimes I surrender, sometimes I fail, sometimes I get up and resume the tale. Sometimes they're loud and hard to shut. Sometimes they're eager, but easily cut. But no, not now, not here, 'cause I'm stronger, greater than to fear. I know I'll pass this 'cause I'm no longer ashamed. The voices, they're nightmares, my fear can no longer claim. I no longer care what these people think, 'cause now I draw my life with my own ink. I hear voices in my head saying I'll never get through. Silly voices in my head, watch me and see what I can do. This next one is called Perfect Silence, or I Hear Them, written by Sarah Bear. You hear words. I hear an entire universe waiting to tumble over the cliffs which formed it and into the world, waiting to be seen and heard, waiting to be felt and smelled and tasted and loved, waiting. You hear sentences. I hear lifetimes, beautiful, perfect lifetimes who have not lived until the moment they are spoken, giving the world all they are, all they will ever be, living only for as long as it takes for them to fall from my mouth into the ground. You hear words, one after the other, anonymous soldiers marching in lines for endless miles, paired at random and then split like a foul taste. The bitter flesh is a lemon, without thought or care or purpose. And maybe to you that is all they are, but do not ever accuse me of being so careless. Perhaps your words are brought to life by chance, but mine have been chosen and loved and designed and then shared. You send your groups, squadron after squadron, hoping desperately to fill the void that you have imagined for yourself. I send the perfect soldiers in small numbers, trained for this, their singular task. They go, they work, they leave, their job done perfectly. Because strength doesn't lie in numbers, strength doesn't lie in brute force, strength lies in the perfect word for the perfect moment. Because every moment of every life is lived through words. Every second is lived in words passing through your head, but maybe yours go unnoticed, but I hear them. Every whisper, every pause, every syllable carefully placed, I hear them. And no, not all are shared, for not all were meant for you. They are mine, and mine alone, a secret whispered from my eyes to my mind. I hear them, and choose not to share them, but my words, or lack thereof, are not the result of something missing, a reflection of the images I fail to see, because as much as I need words to share who I am, what I need, how I feel, and what I see, none of these would mean anything if not punctuated by my perfect silence. Silence that is not dead, but is teeming with words, ideas, thoughts, stories, memories, and they are not meant for you. You hear silence. I hear them. This last piece today is A String of Consonants by Emily Beisel. Saying this is about love would be an insult to me and an injustice to the words. Love is an umbrella term, and the way I feel about you cannot be surmised with such vague expressions. Remember when you told me you had found your soulmate? Of course you were not speaking of me, but of someone who did not know what they had. At the time, I was happy for you just the same, because when you adore someone as much as I adore you, their happiness is the ultimate goal. Every time I stay the night with you, I wake up first and gaze around your room, thinking to myself that I'm living a 7-year-old dream. Had I known then what I know now, I'm not sure what I would change. I wish it were always 4 in the morning and your laugh hung suspended in the air, a golden, tangible cloud I could crawl inside of and make my home. I wish I could take a bath and cleanse myself of last fall to the beginning of summer, but my skin is stained with failed attempts and I hope you'll kiss me all the same. Being hung up on someone for years on end is the most exhausting and excruciating trial I have endured. There are times I want to fast forward so badly I would give damn near anything for just a glimpse of the future. There are times I find myself so afraid of what is yet to come that I shut myself in from the outside world and search for invisible patterns on the ceiling just to get my mind to be quiet and my heart to slow down. Take me back to the deserted playground swings and let me soak you in beneath the fluorescent August moon forever. Every now and then I consider all the things that I do which I never tell anyone about, but which define me as lovesick. I wear shirts to bed that I stole from your house and practice writing my initials as if I had your last name. There's a fine line between poetic license and full-on insanity. I walk across it like a balance beam. People say you cannot miss what you never had, and yet here I am. I fear a life without you. I know that I could do it, but I'd hate to have to try. If I could, I'd make it so you never went another day without smiling. I would pull the sun closer to earth so you were always warm. I would give you my heart as collateral until I found a way to prove myself to you. As someone who prides himself on being rational, trust me when I say that everything about you terrifies me, and yet I swan dove into you without a second thought. Thank you for listening, everyone. Thank you for helping me share these people's art and their beauty and their poetry. I look forward to doing this again someday. It's a lot of fun. Cheers. Have a great rest of your day.